turn the light on?
Yeah, we want to see pens sharp.
Just so you guys can have word that backs every one of these things up. Psalms 127, it says, if God's grace doesn't help the builders, they will labor in vain to build a house. If you keep going, if God's mercy doesn't protect the city, all of the centuries will circle it in vain. Here's where the really important part comes in, is at the end, it is really senseless to work so hard from early morning till late at night, toiling to make a living for fear of not having enough. Right? And here is the greatest part. God can provide for his lovers even while they sleep. It's right here in the Word, Psalms 127. It's amazing because we work and we celebrate what we do by the sweat of our brow, and we say, look at what I did. And I worked for 40 years and I've retired and I can enjoy it. I don't serve a God that waits for retirement. I do not serve a God who says, I will give you just enough when you're ready and you've done enough. Because the Word says his promises are yes and amen. So you go back to Psalms, I believe it's right here in 37. Keep trusting in the Lord and do what is right in his eyes. Fix your heart on the promise of God, and you will be secure, feasting on his faithfulness. Make God the utmost delight and pleasure of your life, and he will provide for you what you desire the most.
That's what we were going to decree. I love Holy Spirit.
That's awesome.
And then when you go to Jeremiah 33:3, we call that the phone number of God. It says, call unto me, and I will answer you, and I will show you great and mighty things you know not of. I serve a God that he is the God that gives you witty inventions and crazy ideas. If you listen to him and you heed his call, and you do exactly what he says, when he says to do it, you can't help but be blessed. As crazy as it sounds, and as stupid as it feels, because you are going to feel stupid, just like Elijah and Elijah, they did crazy things. Elijah laid on a guy that was dead. On a guy that was dead, and he came back to life. Elisha had to smack the water for it to part. He didn't do what Elijah did, but he had to smack the water and it parted. Did something stupid. We did a lot of things that were out of the box and a little bit abnormal tonight. But it comes from your willingness to act opens the door for his provision. You have to grab a hold of that. And it's small steps. It doesn't have to be some grandiose, explosive fireworks and smoke and mirrors stuff. All it is just the willingness to take a step. When Jesus died on the cross, it says that his Spirit was poured out on all flesh. The difference between a Christian and the world is the fact that we acknowledge that the Spirit was poured out on us. We live in the kingdom of heaven now, but we have to open our eyes and believe it. Jesus said to every one of his disciples all the time, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Not the kingdom of heaven is lofty and far off, but it is at hand. We have many scriptures and many verses, and some of my most favorite ones are the ones that say, be still and know that I am God. He's working on your behalf, whether you see it or not, but be still and know. And just like Renee said, every once in a while you have to call the angels out and tell them what to do. They're waiting. He says he gives his angels charge over you. That means you have the ability to speak and it be done. and not sweat and not break your back and not feel tired and not be beaten down and burdened with the, oh God, I've got to do this or it's never going to happen. You have to listen to what he says to do. And he's saying, it's easy. Take on my yoke and my burden. Not the burden we put on ourselves, but his yoke and his burden. Because what is his burden? It's easy. And his yoke is light. Or I might be backwards. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. But you have to know that he is a God that loves you. And he is a God that cares for you. And he is a God that sees you.